Joining me now, ahead of APFC 4 Night of Champions, Keaneo Moyer. Let me know if I said that wrong. It might be a mispronunciation, but about to face the Immortal Lotus at APFC 4. How are you feeling, man? You look good to go and ready to go.
No, I'm feeling good. And yeah, you messed up the name just a little bit. It's Keanu. It's a little bit of
It's the
hard
extra E, bro.
pronunciation, but yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. But freaking, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling amazing. Feeling good to go. Starting out the training camp well. I've been getting ready for my opponent. I can't really pronounce his name, but I'm just gonna call him the Immortal Lotus. I've been getting ready for him for a couple weeks now. I've known about the fight, but just starting the hard part of the training camp, getting into it this week and feeling amazing, man. Can't wait for the fight.
So what went into you accepting this fight, and what do you see of your opponent when you do watch the film? Because hey, you've been throwing some stuff up on the socials about what you think of him, and he's been unshy to do the same as well.
Honestly, what made me take this fight is that ever since the beginning of my pro career, I've always wanted to fight the best fighters, whether I win or lose. I step up to fight the best, and I feel like that's what you're supposed to do if you want to be the best fighter. You're supposed to fight the best fighters. I don't want to have a record where I fight a whole bunch of guys that I was supposed to beat. I want to be the underdog in a lot of my fights, and I am the underdog in this fight. It puts a fire under my ass, and it excites me, makes me train even harder because I know that this is going to be a hard fight. I know that he's a tough opponent. I know that he's undefeated, so he hasn't had the feeling of losing before, and I'm gonna make him feel that. I know what it feels like to lose, and I know that I'm gonna make him feel it. I'm gonna make him feel it that night on April 23rd when I get my belt.
You've had countless tough opponents in your career. Does it almost make you feel pretty comfortable going in there, just knowing you fought tough guys, and this is just what you're used to, just another tough guy on the slate?
Yeah, honestly, that's something that's given me the confidence is that he's fought guys with a lot of experience, but I don't feel like he's fought the guys that have been on my level. Like, ever since the beginning of my pro career, I fought the top of the flyweight division, guys that are, that have fought for big promotions. He's only fought for one promotion, and he's only fought in his homeland. So, I've traveled all over the United States. I fought a lot of the top guys, and that gives me a lot of confidence. He's 6-0, but the guys that he's fought a guy, a Brazilian dude with a record of like 36 wins and 13 losses. So that guy has like 49 pro fights. But if you watch that fight, that guy. I don't know how he has that many pro fights. I don't know who that guy fought. I don't know, but if you look at the caliber of my opponents compared to the caliber of his opponents, there's really no comparison. I fought way better opponents, and that's something that gives me confidence in this upcoming fight.
You always start fast. So I wanted to ask, how do you anticipate this one starting off? Obviously, there's a lot of talk going into it. There's a lot of hype coming from both sides. But how would you envision the first round starting to play out once he's actually locked in there with you? And how do you think he would fare?
Well, he starts all his fights. I have access to. This is something that with all my opponents, I haven't had access to every single one of their fights. I have access to every single one of his fights, so I get to study him every single day and watch. I get it. He hasn't fought for a couple years, and this will be his U.S. debut, but he starts pretty much every single fight the same exact way. He's a slow starter. He doesn't really go for the finish in the first round like I do. You know, so I'm coming out to kill. Every single fight I come out, kill or be killed. I'm not trying to go to the judges' scorecards. I'm not trying to put on a lackluster fight where I go in there and we're getting into grappling exchanges for fucking 15 minutes. I'm not going to do that. I'm looking for the finish, whether it's knockout or submission from bell to bell. And I know for a flat out fact he's never dealt with somebody like that. And he's a really good wrestler, high caliber wrestler. I'll give him that. But he hasn't gone against somebody that's just as good at wrestling as him. I'm really good at wrestling. I'm a high level wrestler. My original coach that I started out with was Matt Lindland. He's the Olympic silver medalist. He was an Olympic silver medalist, and he was
Matt Lindland
the
is a
coach of the
local
judges.
hero. He's one of the guys I started
Yeah,
training with in Portland, funny enough.
exactly. So, that's who I started out with. He was my original head coach, and so I have a lot of confidence in my wrestling, and um, yeah, man, I'm just ready for the fight. I can't wait. There is a lot of back and forth between me and the Immortal Lotus, and I actually that's something that I appreciate from him. He's not backing down. Uh he's keeping the back and forth with the shit talk and the I'd say gamesmanship. We're going back and forth with each other, but it's all respect. I have nothing but respect for him. I have respect for where he comes from. I know he's a hard worker. He's he to come over here and be to come over here and have like none of your family here, to have none of your friends here, to just come over here and do that. That's a very hard thing to do. So I have a lot of respect for him. But when it comes to the fight, all the respect goes out the window. I have one goal, and that goal is to smash him and get the belt, and that's something that I'm going to do come April 23rd.
Fighting's a respectful sport, but you can't be too respectful when you're in competition. That's where you got to put that all aside. You say that you want to take it to him bell to bell, and you say you're a high level wrestler. He obviously is himself. But I wanted to ask, what do you think he's going to feel when he realizes that you're still there in the later rounds? And do you think he's going to strike with you at all? Because your striking is pretty electric as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. When it comes to the fight, I really feel like he's gonna, like I said, he's fought the same exact way every single fight. I don't feel like he's won every single fight, so I don't feel like he has a reason to change it up in his mind. So I feel like he's gonna keep to the same game plan. He's gonna go in for lots of takedowns, try to wear me out, and but I'm ready for it. I fought a lot of opponents like him. I fought a lot of high level wrestlers, and I'm gonna be fully prepared for it. I'm out here in Denver, Colorado, training at high elevation, so my cardio is gonna be on another level come fight day, and yeah, man, I'm ready for whatever he brings. I really honestly feel like when it comes to the fight, I'll have control of the fight because I'm that's the game plan. Control the fight from the beginning to the end. So he could try with whatever he wants. I will have an answer for everything.
Man, I have to ask because obviously it's a long fight and a lot of stuff happens. But one, do you think he can take you down? And then two, do you think he can keep you there? Because obviously, if you guys go into the later rounds, you anticipate hitting the mat at some point, regardless of who you're against. But do you think he can keep you there if it gets there? And how do you think he will do trying to score the takedown itself?
Honestly, because I'm an honest person, and like I said, I've studied him a lot. Like with the Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam fight, he's a lot bigger than me. Well, not a lot bigger than me, but he is bigger than me. So I mean, if he does get me down, I'm not really worried about that. Like I said, I'm a high level wrestler. I have a long background in jiu-jitsu as well. So if he gets me down, I'm not really worried about it, honestly. I have a strict game plan, and that game plan is to put it on him from the bell to bell, no matter where the fight goes. And if he gets me down, I'm gonna get right back up and be right back in his face. So yeah, I do honestly say I could say he can take me down, or I do see him taking me down sometime in the fight, but he will not keep me there. And honestly, it makes somebody more tired when they're having to go in for the takedown over and over and over, and rather than me going in for the takedown over and over and over and him getting up, he's going to be a lot more tired because he's a bigger guy. He has to have more weight. So yeah, man. Game plan stays the same from bell to bell. Be on him wherever the fight goes, and be in his face and put the pressure on him. He's never been pressured back. He's never been in a fight where somebody pressures him going backwards. He's never been on the back, had a back pedal. That's something I'm going to do the whole entire fight, or be in his face. I'm going to create that line in the stand, and I'm not going backwards. So,
if you had to make a prediction, how do you think this fight ends?
Me, by finish. I finish him by knockout or submission. However, I need to get the win. I'm going to win this fight.
And then finally, man, what would it mean for you to not only be the first man to defeat him, but to do it on a big show on UFC Fight Pass in front of some pretty neat names out there? How would it feel to just walk out and actually get the job done in Hammond, Indiana?
Man, when I get the job done on April
Not if, but
23rd,
when.
it's
I
going to be
like that. I
amazing.
like that.
Exactly. Yes, sir. When I get the job done on April 23rd, it's going to be an amazing feeling because this is something that I've worked for since a young teenager. I've been in mixed martial arts since 14 years old. I'm now 24. This is going on a decade that I've worked for this upcoming title that I'm going to get. And to be able to be the first, I am going to be the first person to beat him. To be the first person to beat him, it could have been Joe Schmo, some other fucking nobody that beat him, or somebody from his country. It could have been anybody that beat him, but it's going to be me. It's going to be me that beats him. And come April 23rd, that's going to be an amazing feeling because, like I said, I know what it feels like to lose, and I'm not going to feel that April 23rd. He's going to be the one that feels what it feels like to lose, and it sucks, but it is what it is. It's not going to be his night. It's going to be my night because I will be the better man, and I can't wait to put on a show for everybody that's going to be watching. I know this is going to be available to millions of people, so I hope that everybody in the whole entire world tunes in and watches the underdog win. I'm the underdog going into the fight, and I know for a flat out fact I'm going to put in all the hard work and there's going to be no corners cut for this fight. I will be in the best shape of my life. I will put on the performance of my life, and I will get the finish of my life. And they will be saying, and new young guns. That's what they're going to be saying. Champion, me. Can't wait.
It's going to be a special event. APFC 4 Night of Champions on the way. Keaneo Moyer looking to shock the world once more. Oftentimes they say someone who knows the taste of defeat will do anything to avoid it. And someone who's not tasted defeat before doesn't exactly know how to cope with the feeling. We'll see if it takes place on April 23rd. Keaneo, what do you got to say in closing? And thank you very much for joining me, my man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And what I got to say is first and foremost, I always have to give all thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, none of this would be possible. Secondly, I have to give a shout out to all my coaches and my team, Equip Academy and Bang Muay Thai, and all my teammates there. There's too many to name, too many coaches to name, but I got all the love for you guys, and I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. Thank you so much. Huge shout out to all my sponsors, PDX Sliders, Ready Player Cards, Alchemy Extracts, EVO Roofing, and Champ Mills PDX. I appreciate all you guys so much. I would not be turning my dreams into a reality without you guys. Thank you guys so much. And I have all local sponsors. If you guys in the Northwest, you guys can get everything. All the sponsors that I just named, you guys can go reach out to them and go get a hold of them, and they will work with you guys. And then thank you to Anthony Pettis. Thank you to his promotion and all the people that work with him. You guys have been nothing but awesome, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Come April 23rd, you guys will have a new champion, which will be me, and I will be able to put on for the promotion. I plan on defending my belt many times before I get into the big leagues, UFC or Bellator. And thank you guys so much. I cannot wait. April 23rd, they will be saying and new.
APFC 4 Night of Champions once again goes down April 23rd in Hammond, Indiana. Keaneo Moyer and Immortal Lotus. This is going to be an electric fight. Someone walks out hearing and new. Make sure you're tuned in exclusively on UFC Fight Pass, and make sure you're tuned in to Keaneo Moyer for some Immortal Lotus.